You guys know I like to talk about my trading system a lot, right? The NASDAQ All-Stars. Like every other video, I'm like, oh, it does so great. It averages 30% per year. It does 3 times better than the indices with half the drawdowns and et cetera, et cetera. And actually, I don't know why I'm saying it like that, because that's all true. I mean, there's a reason why I love that system so much and talk about it all the time, the All-Stars. And there's a reason why the Fallible members love it so much. But of course, the question I'm gonna get whenever I'm talking about a system like that is like, okay, AK, if it's so easy, then why isn't everyone just rich? It's a good question. But here's the thing. We made the All-Stars as simple as possible to use, right? Simple. But simple does not necessarily mean easy, because having good results in the market, regardless of what strategy you're using or what system, that all comes down to your execution. And your execution is dependent on your psychology. Think about it. I could give you the best system in the world, like something crazy, like 1,000% returns a year. I mean, I don't have that system, but I'm just saying. Even if I gave you a system like that though, if you're not able to execute on it, if you don't have your mind right, then what's the point? It's useless. And that's why psychology and the ability to control your emotions, that is so important. It's way more important than your system. And that's why we always talk about it on this channel. And I mean, I know when you talk about trading with people and stuff about like psychology, they're like, oh yeah, okay. But then you mention returns and they're like, huh? And I mean, this is me too, right? Because talking about returns and how much money you're gonna make, you know, that's a lot more fun than talking about the hard work it takes to get your psychology in the right place. But we all gotta remind ourselves, to get returns like that, we gotta be focusing on our psychology and how we execute, because that's everything. And I'm not perfect at it either. Like, I constantly need to go back and work on my own emotions and psychology. And I'll show you an example. I just screwed up my system recently. And you've heard me talk about it. It's a great system. It hands stuff to you on a silver platter. But still you can screw it up, which is exactly what I did. I screwed it up because I didn't execute. This thing got in the way. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Workday. Yes, you've heard me talk about this stock all the time. Well, my system the other day spit out a trade alert right here on March 20th. And this is the options version of the system. So it's telling me to buy call options right here on the 20th with the price right around here. So pretty simple. Like, doing this trade takes 5 minutes. The system tells you everything you need to know. You just need to go execute it, right? I actually type it in. But I failed to do it. And let me tell you what was going through my mind that day. So I saw the alert in the morning, but I was in the middle of working and I was doing these videos. I made like 3 or 4 that day. Had a bunch of jokes, you know, I was laughing, having a good time. Then I had some meetings, I had some other stuff. So around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I was like, okay, let me put this trade in. But by that point, I was so tired. Been working all day. I just didn't feel like it. I got lazy, you know, I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just put this on tomorrow or something. I'm tired. So those were the conscious thoughts I was thinking, right? Or you could say it was the rationalization that I made in my mind. But the truth is something different. Subconsciously, I knew that this option system right now is going through a drawdown. The last 3 trades I've put on have been duds. I've lost money. And I mean, it's not fun losing money, obviously, right? So when it came to putting on this new trade, I was subconsciously resistant. Sure, I said I was tired and all that, but really, I was thinking, man, what are the chances that this trade is going to work? They've all just failed. System isn't working so good. I don't want to take another loss. And those subconscious thoughts that I was thinking, that is so wrong. That is what screws you up in the long term. There are 3 concepts that I forgot about that I just pushed to the side because my stupid monkey brain with all the emotions took over. First concept, cycles. Every strategy that you use, no matter what it is, it's gonna go through cycles. There's gonna be times it works, there's gonna be times that it doesn't. And that's natural. No strategy works all the time, right? So in this particular market, the option strategy might be going through a drawdown. That's okay. The worst thing you can do during the drawdown, with this strategy at least, is to stop taking the trades. Because with your system, you don't know if the next trade is gonna be a winner or a loser. You're just playing the full cycle. You know that over the full cycle, you should be making money. And that means you should be taking every trade that the system gives you. You can't just skip some. You're gonna screw up your results. Because what if Workday is a huge winner? Well, then I'm gonna miss it. And then when I look back at my P&L for the year, it's not gonna be what it's supposed to be. So I should have had that idea about cycles in the front of my mind, but I didn't. And that goes into the next topic that I forgot, the concept number 2, expected value. Now with the system, I've already calculated expected value for all the trades, right? For the full cycle. And with the probabilities and how much you win when you win and how much you lose when you lose, the expected value is positive. So why am I worried about a loss? Who cares if I have a string of losses? The expected value is still positive. I should have went back and looked at the numbers and recalculated it if I had to, because what I was thinking, what I was trying to do to avoid that trade and avoid that potential loss is just not rational. It's purely emotional. And then the last point I forgot is risk, or the right right way to look at risk. Okay, so worst case, I take that trade and I lose some money. But guess what? The way the system is structured with the risk control that's in place, that loss is not gonna kill me. And I forgot what a good risk is. Because that amount that I was losing, that's a good risk. I should be willing to lose that and able to lose that because I know about the potential of the strategy when it's winning. That's a risk I should be willing to take because I know with the expected value and the cycle what will happen with the strategy over the long term. But again, it's that loss aversion kicking in, my emotions. I just threw that idea about risk out the window and said,
no, I don't feel like it. I don't want another loss.
Like a child. And see, that's what I'm saying. I forgot about those concepts and I didn't execute the system. Well, the one good thing I did was the next day. You know how I said I was going to place that trade? Well, I didn't. Look at this candle. The thing ran up. It shot up. And when it shot up like that, with the way options worked, I knew I missed it. And at that point, it would be a bad idea to chase something. You make the error that you made even worse by doing that. And you know, I talk about FOMO all the time, right? That's one of those situations. So I definitely felt that FOMO. I was like, oh man, it's running without me. I need to get in. But I was at least able to stop my emotions then and prevent myself from doing that. The logic finally won out over the emotions. So it's at least one win. And I mean, you could see here, we don't know what this stock is gonna do. Maybe it'll turn out to be a winner, maybe it'll turn out to be a loser. But say it does turn out to be a loser. I'm not gonna be patting myself on the back saying, oh, AK, you're so smart. Good thing you didn't take that trade. No, because regardless of if that's a winner or a loser, I already lost. By not placing that trade like I was supposed to, by not executing, I lost. That's a mistake. My psychology, my emotions, they took over. I didn't have a handle on it. And that's what happened. I screwed up. So right now, you know, it's been a week or so since that happened. And since that time, I have been rewatching my psychology course just to get these concepts back into my mind, to get the techniques that I need to control my psychology and my emotions so that this doesn't happen again. And I don't know if you guys have ever watched yourself on video. Like obviously I got to do it all the time, but it is never, ever enjoyable. So you can imagine me sitting there watching a course that I made, which means I'm watching myself shout at myself again. So it sucks when like course AK is telling me not to do something, which I just did, like an idiot. And then it also sucks when people are walking by and they're like, is this guy watching videos of himself? So it's a little narcissistic little circle of shame. But I mean, it happens. And that's why to stay sharp, I always go back and watch those videos. I have to. Because otherwise you start to forget. Your emotions slowly creep in and then you got a problem like I just had with execution. Before you know it, you're not executing. That's not good because you're not going to get the returns from the system, no matter how great it is, if you're not executing, if you don't have your psychology under control. And the course, I like it because it's not too long, gets straight to the point, and it teaches really important concepts, which for me serve as a reminder about why I'm doing what I'm doing, how I should be doing it. So I'm always going back to review it. And our Fallible members that are in the course, they love it too. I mean, they send me emails all the time about how helpful it is for their execution. Because it's not just about controlling your psychology. Like, who cares, right? It's more about controlling that psychology so that you can execute, so that you can get the returns that we all want. Because we all want returns, right? Let's be honest. No one wants to just control their emotions so they can become a monk and go sit in the mountains or something. I mean, monks want to do that, but most of us are not monks. I mean, we're here to make money. And that's where the psychology comes in for that execution to make that money in the market. Now, if you want to learn more about the techniques I was just talking about, plus a bunch of other stuff that really helps with execution, then I'm going to put a link up above over here and down below. You can go and enter your email and I'm going to send you more information straight to your inbox all about this course, how it helps with execution and how that helps with your returns. Too many people forget about this. People forget about how important this is. This is really the key. But anyway, definitely go to that page and enter your email so I can send you this information. It's important. And of course, as always, stay fallible out there and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.